everybody. Hey, how y'all doing? So glad to have you here on Trina's Booth of Truth, where you're able to tell your truth. And I just thank y'all for coming in. Thank you for all the feedback for our last segment. Trina's Booth of Truth. You be able to tell your point of view. We all can go through the same situations, but we will have a different point of view. So I thank you guys for tuning in today. We have a lovely guest today, Miss Latrice. How you doing? Y'all give her a round of applause. Everybody that come here, I just thank God for them, because it's so hard to tell your story. And it doesn't matter what story it is that you're telling. If it was something detrimental to you, it will be kind of hard for you to tell your story. Hello, Latrice. We're so happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Nervous is all right though.
No, on here it's not. You don't have to be nervous, because here I just want you to go as far as you want to go. And also just remember that your testimony is to help somebody else that could be going through the same situation, that had somebody reach out to them that's going through the situation. So therefore they'll know how to, be able to relate to them in that situation, and be able to get help, or be able to, reach out to somebody and have courage to do that. So I just want you to be as comfortable as you are. I thank everybody for viewing in and stuff, but it's not about the viewers, it's not about the cameras. It's about you telling your point of view.
That's so sweet.
And so, whenever you've read it, wherever you would like to start, you can start.
I don't even know where to start. I'm super
I want
nervous.
you to start at the beginning.
And my story is that my story, being a young girl and being molested by my stepfather and his two brothers. And it's kind of hard to talk about the story, because it was so it was just hard. I was only 4 years old. And just imagine a 4-year-old being molested by some grown men. I went through it mostly by myself, because nobody didn't know. So from the time I was 4 to the time I was 10, I had to hold that kind of secret. Just imagine that, going to school and stuff. But I went through it, I made it through, but I didn't realize that something so traumatic as that right there would follow me into my adulthood. I always thought I was okay until I got grown. Then that's when I realized that being molested, it does do something to your mental stability, maybe something like that. Maybe that's why it's so hard for me to talk about it. I don't. The last time I talked about it is when it happened, which was in 1990. So that's been how many years ago that been?
Like 40 something.
Yeah, that's a long time, and I never have really talked about it since then. I do.
Well, I want to stop you right there and thank you for your courage, because even it doesn't matter if it takes 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. Trauma is trauma, and trauma can go with you a lifelong duration of your life. I thank you for being courage. I thank you for being courageous enough to be able to tell your story, that it may help somebody else. I know a little backstory on her as well. A lot actually. But she kind of downplayed what she went through as a little girl. It wasn't just physical, it was mental. It was emotional abuse that she went through. And like I said, and I want to reiterate, that this channel is point of view. So there could be other people that's involved in her situation that she's talking about, as all the guests that we have here. And someone else will have a different point of view of it. But this is her point of view. And I don't want anybody to rob any of my guests of their point of view, because that's this platform. Your point of view is not wrong, because it's your point of view. And it's not to hurt anybody, only to heal her. And if this what she needs for her healing, then we're here, and the platform is here for her to speak out, to heal not only herself, but to help somebody else. So I want to set the tone for us going forward.
I think with women who have kids, check on your kids. Make sure that you have a relationship with your kids around your significant other, man, husband, or whatever, because you just never know. Because my people did not believe me when I finally did come to the forefront and tell what happened to me, and that was traumatic too. That was hard, having to go through that by myself for so many years, y'all. So I don't know, I still have not processed it all the way. So maybe that's why it's so hard to talk about it. But I don't know how to tell this story outside of it was hard to have the men on top of me as a little young girl, and nobody to be there to hug me or tell me I was beautiful or anything. So it led me to make bad decisions in life as I got older, and men and stuff, because I was searching for the little girl in me who was so hurt. And people hurt the little girl in me, and I was hurt for a long time, and I still have not healed to this day from it. I have girls, and I just make sure that I talk to them all the time, and I tell them how beautiful they are, so that when it comes to a situation like that, they will know how to deal with it, meaning to come tell somebody, because I was scared to tell somebody my story, because I don't know, I maybe he put fear in me saying you better not tell nobody, and I did not. But I didn't have to tell anybody, because people in the street saw it. I had a cousin that came to me one time and like, Latrice, why you so sad? Why you be so sad? She knew. So I don't understand why the people close to me did not know that I was being molested by them grown men, grown ass men. And I said what I said. I meant to say that.
And as a 4-year-old girl, being mentally and physically abused by not one, not two, but 3 grown men, I'm sure that you did not even know how to process it. You probably didn't even know that it was wrong until you had the feeling of hurt. Because at that age, we don't even know what's wrong and right. When things started happening with me and my father, I didn't know it was wrong at first. What made me know it was wrong was every time I would mention my mama's name, he'll stop. He would abruptly stop. And then I used to be like, well, this can't be right. Then it started feeling uncomfortable to me. And so I knew it was wrong, because you never do this when we're around my mom. You never do this when we around nobody else. It only takes place when we're around each other, and then you take me to a secluded place. And so as a young girl, I had to process right from wrong of being in the wrong situation. And so when you have to go through that and you have to process it yourself, it's detrimental. It does something to your mental, because me, for the longest, I had a nervous breakdown when I was 18. Me, for the longest, I did not know how to process it. I just felt like it was something that happened to people.
Yeah.
Some things just happen to people. And I didn't know how to be angry. I didn't know how to be mad. I didn't know how to feel about it.
Well, that's what I was all the time, angry, sad, and mad with the whole world. Even to this day, I still have to take the time and step back and be like, look, it's okay. You got to learn to love yourself after that situation, and that ain't something easy to do when you trying to learn it on your own, maybe something like that. But in time you will get it. But I was angry, and girl, just running behind little boys because you want somebody to love you so bad. You be looking for love. It's like you miss out on love when you go through molestation as a child. You miss some kind of love. And I've been searching for it. Well, I was searching for it for many years, so I got into a lot of relationships that one time about nothing. Not just saying that, just look, get it. Because it was natural to have sex and nobody taught me nothing different or anything. Right. Check on your kids. Check on your kids. I always check on your kids. That's the biggest one. I just ain't good with telling this story. I just know what happened and just ain't one.
And so, to help you get along this road, if you don't mind if I elaborate, 4 years old, like I said, she was molested by her stepdad and his two brothers. This was national news.
And being a kid, let me say this right here. That's what's so crazy, because like you say, you don't know what's wrong or what's right. It was another dude that was an uncle from another side of the family. I felt like I done told too many names, so if I tell that name right there, that's too many. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a whole nother man that was doing the same exact thing that them men were doing. He didn't have to go to jail because I didn't tell. Well, I told it later, but not in the beginning, that he did it as well, because I thought it was wrong. Look, 3 men, and what they gonna think about me if I add 4? What? Oh my God. What? I don't know what I looked like at that age. That had that many men, grown men on top of me and wanting to have sex with me. We got some messed up people in this world.
Yes.
Check on your kids, please. You got a baby that's running through the house being sad all the time, and just please talk to your kids and let them know that it's okay. I didn't know that it was okay to talk to somebody or tell somebody. And even when I did, somebody did come ask me, I lied about it. I lied about it.
And so, like, from 4 years old, she was victimized, I think, until the age of 10, when she was able to relate to actually my mother, which is her stepmother, that really blew the case open, court case, everything.
My teacher, she came to the school to check on me.
The teacher
say, take her in the house. Something going on in that house. Ask her what's going on in it. And your mama took that teacher, Miss Miles. I'll never forget you. I had to say her name is Cindy Miles. I love you to death. But she say, take her in that house and talk to her. Something's going on in that house. And I broke down and I told your mama, and me and your mama were consider we were best friends till then. It felt so good to be able to tell somebody. But when I told him, I still didn't understand what was all the chaos that was going on around me. I remember going to all kind of interviews. Everybody wanted to know what happened. And I had to repeat that story so many times back then. That's probably why it's so hard for me to talk about it now.
Yeah.
When he put up that light just then, it brought back so many memories of the doctors interviewing me, newsmen, detectives, police. It was like a movie. So many people were interviewing me about what happened to me.
And like, it was so many people reaching out to her, and it was so many prominent people in the city that really heart went out to her. And she had a lot of stuff, but not to dwell on that. I see that you're not really comfortable with it, but not to dwell on it. It's just setting the tone for the events that came after in her life, and how this event, starting when she was 4 years old, ending at 10, derailed her whole life. In a sense, when was the first time that you really had relations or something with a person that you was like a boyfriend or something? Yeah, that you really like.
Girl, 1993, and I got into a relationship with a dude.
Oh, you were 13 then, right?
I was 13, and I ran away from home to be with this dude, not knowing certain things about life, thinking that they're what I'm supposed to do. And actually, I was a sweet person, but I had so much gook from my childhood that I hadn't got through and got over. So I'm going through life with that stuff still inside of me and trying to be in a relationship. It was a hot mess, yes.
And when was your first time getting pregnant? How old were you?
My first time getting pregnant was 13, because I thought sex was the way to live. After them men did what they did, I thought it was okay to have sex, so I just constantly had sex after sex after sex with random people and everything, because I still was trying to look for some love. I'm still looking for somebody to pay me some attention, even though I got that from my grandmama and them, but I still was looking for that grown lady love or some stuff like that. being molested, boy, if you got a child or somebody in your family that's been molested, reach out to them as much as possible and lift them up as much as you can. Because I walked with my head down for so long. I still catch myself doing it now because of my childhood. It follows you. It follows you throughout life. You got to be a strong person, and you need a support team. You need that. I got my support team when I had my kids. Thank God for them, because that's what lifts me up and give me the courage to keep going on, because so many times I tried to commit suicide too, because I felt like I wasn't worthy.
You just didn't know how to process the pain. I did not know,
and I'm still working on that today. As you can tell, I still ain't totally processed it. And being here today let me know that, look, you still need to work on that a little bit more and talk about it as well, too, a little bit more, because it's a deep story inside this story that I'm telling you. I'm just giving you a little bit of it, but it still go way deeper than what I'm telling y'all today.
And so, being 13 and being pregnant, what's the number of kids that you have now?
I got 8 kids right now, and I would have more.
How many kids did you lose?
Probably 3 or 4.
So you would probably be in at like the 12 or 13 mark.
Yes.
And that's just being introduced to sex so
at
young.
An early age.
She always felt like that was the right thing to do. What you do for emotion, what you do for feeling, what you know, that's what she was introduced to. Most little girls introduced to baby dolls at 4 years old, where they pretended to be a mother, or they pretended to be that child, that was their child. She was in a full-blown sexual relationship with 3 grown men.
Yeah, 13,
at the age of 4.
I was in a full.
And she was in a relationship at the age of 13.
Him. Yes, I was at the age of 13, running away from home just so I can get him to comfort me. And
when you went into that relationship, though, what did you find that you accepted or that you went through in that relationship, in that marriage?
Giving way too much of myself. The same way I did when I got when the guys were doing what they were doing, just giving away me. I gave away myself, and I lost myself in the midst of that too. I did. I lost myself in that. Well, he was kind of controlling and things like that, and I thought it was okay, but it was not okay. That kind of messed me up too a lot in my mental state. Yeah, I deal with
being abused, physically abused in your marriage.
Yes, I went there.
When did you try to soothe the pain with drugs and alcohol? What age were you then?
Woo! I had to be 17 when I started smoking weed to run from the pain and all the chaos in my life. And then once I got a little older, still trying to hold on to this man that we have, and he loved to have sex. So I'm thinking the relationship all right, but I'm still being hurt at the same time because he liked to cheat a lot with other women. So I accepted a lot of things, and plus the lifestyle that he gave me too. That had a lot to do with it too. But
elaborate on the lifestyle.
Oh, Lord have mercy. He was the type to say, if I take care of home, then you shouldn't worry about what I do. Because he loved to say something like, Muslims have 10 wives because what one won't do, the other will do, which might be true. But I think communication is the biggest key. And that's what I lost. That's what I did not have growing up as a child. Communication. Nobody came to me and asked me how I was doing outside of strangers. How you gonna talk to a stranger? But that was the only people that realized something was going on with me as a little young girl. And that's why I can't imagine going through that with my little bitty baby. I got one that's 7 and 10 years old, and I cannot imagine somebody touching my baby and I don't know. I was sad. I carried it on my shoulder that I was sad, not even meaning to be sad, but I was a sad little girl. And men smelled that too. How the world I'm 10 years old and all them men looking at me like I was grown. I'm lying about my age too at that time too, because I'm thinking it's cute. It's not cute. But anyway, what did I look like? I didn't look like a little girl. I couldn't have. Because I remember living in the project and the men just chasing me. Cause I don't know. It's wild on that side of TV.
Which put you with, I want you to elaborate on the addiction, cocaine addiction, and how you came, how long you was in it, and I want you to elaborate the underworld that you was in, because all this stuff stems from your childhood,
Right.
from your alcohol use, the excessive sexual communication with the man, the excessive use of drugs, excessive use of alcohol, all that stuff stems from your childhood. So I want you to elaborate kind of on the cocaine issue, because it's a lot of people dealing now with addiction, whether it's cocaine, whether it's marijuana, whether it's alcohol, milk, whatever it is that you're doing. She's been through it, and you can come out of it.
Yes, because I came out of it. That's the big thing, and I'm so much better now. But cocaine came later when I was so dependent on a man. I gave my soul to him. I almost that would have felt like this seemed like, cause whatever he said I did, I left my family. I left everybody to go tend to this man, but let him tell it I did not. But I know I did. That's what hurt it the most, because I know that I was a good girl, but he kept abusing me. So I ran to cocaine because I wanted to go further running. So I got on a hard drug like cocaine, and it made life even more worse. But it was for the good as well too, because I got on my spiritual journey.
Okay.
And that's what saved me, really. Because I think I still would be sad to this day if I would have never went down that cocaine journey, which are 3 years clean.
Yes. Thank you for that, God.
But that's where I went. I got my spiritual journey when I went through the cocaine experience and learned that I wasn't supposed to be where I was, and I went through it for a reason too, because God got something for me, and I'm going through that stage right now too, because God is very strong in my life because of cocaine. I remember being high and just praying to God like, God, please, God, please, God, please, please, please. And that day came where I finally got relieved, and I got out of that relationship.
Cause that was a whole relationship right there.
God.
With cocaine. That's a whole relationship.
Yeah, it is a whole human form of a relationship. Yes, it is. Because when you're going through things, you run to cocaine instead of solving the problem or the issue that you have to deal with. You go get high. And I did that a lot of days. I did.
And what did the high make you feel like?
More horrible. We think that you think that when you're doing drugs, you finna go and not think about the situation that you got going on, but you're really gonna think. You're gonna think even more. 10 times more. So I'm in a corner, stuck. Just keep thinking about doing. You going through this, doing. You going through that, doing. You need to do this, doing. You need to do that, and
So you went from 4 years old to 10 years old being abused by grown men to going to a relationship that was toxic, a marriage that was toxic, having kids after kids with this man, to even leaving them, your kids and him, for another relationship which was addiction to cocaine.
Ooh, Lord.
And that was a whole relationship that you was in for how many years?
That was about 20 years too, because even though me and my husband were going through what we went through, he was the more pretend like we got it right, pretend like we doing right. When over here with the relationship with the boyfriend for that many years, he giving me the drugs instead of giving me high, not knowing that I'm constantly being sad. And I cried a lot. I cried a whole lot. Well, I don't think I can cry no more. Thank you, God, for that too, because that relationship, it was abusive too, but it was more fun because I was able to be myself at the same time. I got experiences from that. I learned some life experiences from being with the one who fed me the drugs.
And when she was with this husband though, y'all, she lived in the biggest houses. She drove the nicest cars, had all the money that she needed. Like, she didn't go lacking in her marriage. You know, it was toxic because, like she said, he wanted to be with multiple people. He didn't want to be just there with her. And that's what she wanted because she never had that stability in her life. So the stability came for when everything her heart desired, she had it. Jewelry, clothes, hair, cars, big houses, trips. Whatever she wanted, she had it. It wasn't nothing that she didn't have to want that she didn't get. And therefore, when she got with the drugs, she was able to get that as well. Being able to have that kind of stability coming from a place that you didn't, I would think that she just wasn't alert enough to know that this is just a facade, because I'm going through this and this man doing this to me. I'm accepting all this stuff from this man because this man is providing so much for me when she never had a man to provide.
It make it feel good for the moment. That stuff felt good for the moment. And so I would not leave because it felt good for the moment. Not knowing down in the long run, you still got to face whatever it is that you're running from. I was running from starting on my own. I was running from starting over. I didn't want to start over. He made life be easy for me, but hurtful at the same time. So I thought the drugs would help, but the drugs did not. They made life be even more harder for me.
But I did skip a portion to where it wasn't like she was in poverty, because her grandmom, shout out to Alice Ross, I'm gonna say her name.
Hey.
Alice Ross, everybody by the project know who she is. But she got custody of Latrice, and like I said, she didn't have this ability. Like, her dad was in her life as well, but I'm speaking from my point of view now. I can't speak from her.
Thank you.
Because like I said, we are step sisters. So her dad was there but wasn't there, so she didn't get the stability from him. And so that's like I said, that's my point of view. You can agree to disagree. But her grandma provided like everything she needed. She was a single mother as well at the time. But everything she needed, her grandma was there. Like, that's one of the strongest women that I ever came in contact with. Like, this woman was incredible. And so that's who custody she went in after she was 10. That you went into your grandmama's custody. So she had some stability from a woman, but she never felt that stability with a man. And even though her dad had, I guess, joint custody with your grandmama, he was there but wasn't there, because her dad had some of the same trait that the man she ended up with had. And that, in my point of view, that was womanizing, and that was being with multiple women. So again, that was stuff that she had already seen before she got with this man. Like I said, she had everything her heart could desire, but she couldn't get that love and stability that she wanted it,
because I had not processed the things from my childhood. I had not, because even when I went to counseling, they make you go to counseling for so many years. I wasn't done that stuff. I wanted to go outside and be grown, and because it puts that in you. Sex is in me. I want more of it. I want more of it. And so I want to go outside. I don't want to be seen keep talking to that lady. I had a chance to process that stuff and figure out that, look, you need to put yourself. I didn't love myself enough. I did not, because if I did, I wouldn't allow that to happen for so long. I would have stepped up a long time ago and say, okay, let's just go ahead and do what's need to be did, like I'm doing now. And it is not easy, but I get up and I pray every morning. Not just every morning, throughout the day. God give me the strength. God give me the strength. And He do. And I make it through every day. Okay. I make it through every day.
Every day.
And
I just want you to go to the point to when you got your relationship with God. When your walk with God became so for real in your life, till you was coming out of this, abuse, you was the divorce, the everything that came after the dysfunction in your life. Because I kind of want you to elaborate on how you can be saved from abuse. You can be saved from addiction. You can be saved from you. It's no way that you can go so far that God can't reach down and pick you up. And that's just me. If you don't believe in God, then I don't expect for you to understand what I'm saying. But some of the stuff that I've been through in life that I witnessed her go through, like I know that there's a God, and I know that you can't be so far gone that He cannot pull you back.
Well, he's still working on me to this day. Like I say, I'm still going through my journey, and so I guess I got to come back in the next couple of years and give y'all part 2 of my story. But it's like the divorce been probably about 3 or 4 years ago too. But I'm just not getting to the point where I say I'm over it. You know, I don't have to be sad and stuff like that. And so
I know you to be a very spiritual person. That's
yes.
why elaborate on your relationship.
I just knew that in the end, because I made my husband be my God. And once he was gone, I ain't have nothing else to stand on, so I ain't have no choice but to call out to God. So that's who I call on now all the time through anything. And I remember reading the Bible one time being in jail. He said, no matter what you're going through, still call on my name. So a lot of times I used to be high, and I just sit there and pray and cry to God. Still getting high, but still sitting there praying to God, saying, please save me from whatever this is that you got me going through, because I still don't know what it is right now. I have a bigger purpose than what I am today, because I'm still moving forward and still working on it. I'm writing a book about it right now. That's one thing. And and standing up to my ex-husband and putting things in order that need to be in order. Taking control of my own life now. And that's with God. Without God, I did not. I gave it to somebody else, and that's where all the hurt and pain came from, because I gave my life to somebody. I thought that's what you're supposed to do when you get married. I thought you're supposed to give your soul to your husband, but I guess you got to make sure you find the right one first, then you do that.
Well, I think that you it's a three-way when it comes to marriage. God got to be in the head. So it's a union with marriage, but it's also separate, because he got to have his relationship with God. You got to have your relationship with God. He got to leave both of y'all that creates a whole. Mm-hmm. So
but that's what my ex-husband did. He led us, and he gave us some good laws to live by, but he still did worldly things. So, but he definitely introduced us to God, because I remember him coming home from prison, and we used to get up in the morning praying. And I let my guard down and thinking that everything was going to be all right, and I followed. Right. But that you better have your own mind before you try to follow anybody. Anybody that never been through something and you been hurt in life, make sure that you heal. Make sure you find yourself. Heal yourself before you even get in a relationship, because I still struggle just a little bit, not as much as I used to, but I got a patient boyfriend now, and he's so patient and humble. Yeah, I love him. Shout out to you.
How long it took for you to really let down and let him love you?
Ooh,
being that you've been through so much dysfunction.
And we still go through it a little bit now. He be just saying, Latrice, I ain't finna do this with you today. And he let me have my way, and he let me be myself. That's the biggest thing. And oh my God, because my husband used to be like, even when I started wearing my natural hair, he like, why you don't put that black hair in your head and stuff? I was being somebody that I was not. I could not be myself. You gotta be yourself in life. Now I am myself, as you could tell. And
Teen natural.
Yes.
Not me, but teen natural.
So I just, like I said, it's just the biggest part of all of this is finding yourself and loving yourself and putting yourself first, God first too. You can't go nowhere without him, so you gotta make sure you include him. But through my cocaine experience, God was definitely there. Oh my God. I wasn't meant to be in that. Well, I was meant to be there for whatever reason, because I think I was like a mentor for some of them people. A lot of them people talked to me when we were, in that world, and they talked to me about things they normally wouldn't talk to other people about. Mm-hmm. So that was something to be good about. But they treated me like an old lady, so some things that they did together, they didn't do.
Right.
They didn't do right me because it's like I was the old lady. It really was like I was the angel in that world because a lot of people I saved, a lot of people I made feel good, a lot of people I made them think about their world too, because the way that I'm talking, it's just a lot of godly words rolled off my tongue when I was in that world. I took the Bible with me when I went, and so I thank God, and just y'all just hold on, some great things is on the way. Great things are on the way.
Rebuilding.
Yeah, and restoring.
Yes. And one thing that I like about the when you rebuild, when you restore, when you renew, you're able to start over. If you're living and you're on top of dirt and dirt not on top of you, God is giving you another chance to start over. Like, don't ever think that you're too far that you can't start over. God is giving you another chance to start over. Even if you got to start from the bottom, you got to be able to and be willing to start over. Just listen. I mean, some of the people that I talk to, I've been through a lot as well, but some of the people that I talk to, just listen to their stories. Somebody always have it worse than you. Somebody always been through something more than you have. Don't let yourself get into a pity party thinking that it just, why did this happen to me? It only happened to me. It happens to a lot of people that you may not know about. But that doesn't decrease the hurt that you have. That just lets you know that it's life after that. It's life after that. If you is a firm believer in God or whatever it is you believe in, you got to know that restart, that rewrite, that renew, that remake, it is awesome. Because at this point in her life, she went through things as a child, an adolescent, and a grown up. Every stage of her life was trauma. Every stage of her life was trauma. And so now she in her 40s, doing her rewrite. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
She's doing her rewrite now, and I thank God.
I'm loving the story. I'm loving it. I'm smiling and I'm happy.
And I mean, I never seen her like this.
Ooh,
like she wear her natural hair. She's always have on makeup. She always I guess like she said, it wasn't being her.
Yeah.
Now she wear her natural hair. She don't care what nobody saying. She always was concerned about what people, how people felt and what people say. And I see the strength coming out of her, and I see her willing to rewrite her story, willing to not letting this define her to what happened to her. It doesn't define her. And if she's this strong to be able, and trust me, she skipped a lot of the story because it go deep. It go very deep. It goes so deep. But hopefully one day we will have a spin-off of this story where she will elaborate more on certain things. But to tell y'all that she's come a long way, and me for one, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, baby.
Because being able to even just sit down and talk about this, like, it speaks volumes to how far God has brought you. Because me personally, I wasn't able to talk about my situation without crying. I wasn't able to talk about it without getting sad or something. But for you to just be this strong and be able to talk about this, life won't hurt.
That's God. That's what God do. All day I kept trying to think about, look, is you gonna tell your story? Is you gonna go out there and talk to her? Don't do it. So I put myself in the space in my head where I didn't think about it, and I knew it had to be did, and I came. And I wasn't as nervous, but I am nervous, but I wasn't as nervous because I know that this day had to come. And so that's why I know when we do that spin-off, yes, I will elaborate a whole lot more. But I had to start right here, and I'm proud of myself too.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm so proud of me.
But there's life after trauma.
Yes.
We always tell you here on Trina's Booth the Truth, there's life after trauma. It doesn't have to define you. No matter what you went through, no matter the hurt, the pain, you can be brought back up. You can rewrite your own story. Don't let another person take the narrative of your story. The hurt that they did, don't give them that gratitude to be able for you to stay there in that sunken place when you don't have to. So I'm telling you, we're going to put this number on if you had going through domestic violence or somebody touching you as a child. We're going to place the number on the screen. And I want you to call this number to get some help or talk to somebody that is very close to you that you trust. Because just because people are adults, a lot of them are not trustworthy. So if you want to call this number. You can be anonymous, just to have somebody to talk to, just to bring awareness to what you got going on. Mothers, like she said, pay notice to your kids.
Please.
Don't let you working hours on end to provide for them let somebody fall asleep on the job. That's how I put it. When you go through something like somebody fell asleep on the job, don't fall asleep on your kids. Notice when their moods change. Notice when they get secluded.
Please.
Notice when they shut down. Notice when they don't want to go play. Notice when they're not being them. Notice your kids. Check their phones. And now, all this was going on in the 80s. Now,
90s.
It's at the 90s.
Yeah.
Now, it's at the tip of their fingertip. The phone. Men can take advantage of little girls, little boys over the phone. Fool them to meet up with them. Kill them. I mean, unalive them. Do anything to them today. So it's even more, in this day and time that you need to pay attention to your kids. That's just point blank and period. But kids, no, it's not your fault. It's nothing wrong with you that caused anything that ever happened to you traumatic. There's nothing wrong with you. It's all wrong with the predator that did something to you. So don't be afraid to speak your voice. That's how we bring these cowards to submission. Speak. We don't have to hit them with our hand. We don't have to shoot them, kill them. We don't have to do none of that. Speak. Get help. Bring awareness. Don't feel alone. Know that somebody is here to help. Do you have any encouraging words that you would like to tell a young child, being that you went through it, a young child, an adolescent, or either an adult that's dealing with abuse, addiction, or anything?
Pick your head up, and like I said, just because that happened don't mean it got to be the end of the world. You definitely can rewrite your story, and no, it is not your fault. Nothing is wrong with you. It is something wrong with it. Whatever you want to count them who does that, they have some kind of mental problems. But I advise you to seek help from somebody, whether it's a relative, the police, a counselor, or somebody, because you're going to need somebody to talk to. A professional person, definitely, yes. But just anybody, kids, if somebody touch you in the wrong way, tell somebody, because if they touch you that first time, they're going to keep touching until you tell it. And that's practically what happened. Yeah, tell it, please, please, please.
Speaking for someone that went through it.
Speaking from someone that went through it.
So.
And I can laugh a little bit about it now. I don't have to cry. I cried so much in my life, y'all. I don't have to cry no more. Cause like I was getting welled up not too long ago, but I hear the spirit inside of me saying, no, stay strong. You don't got to cry no more. My crying days are over. So that day will come. You will get through it. But it took a long time. But only because I was lacking the village. It takes a village. One person is not enough. Two, you need a whole team of people to help you through that, to help you heal through that. It's traumatic, very much. She
have a wonderful relationship with all her kids. Her kids go from the age of 20
to from 7 to 26, something like
from
that.
7 to 26.
Something like that.
So she still got little babies up to adulthood kids, and she have a great relationship with all of them. All of them love her. They surround her with just gratitude and love
all the time. Yes, just a rub on the back. Them little babies be loving their kids. Need that. I was lacking that when I was young too. No kissing, no kisses, no hugs, no I love you. Cause my mom and them were going through their own stuff. They were messed up on the inside too. So maybe she just didn't know how to process certain things or something. I don't know. Cause I think to this day, they still going through some stuff as well. But I want to break that chain and come through that, and y'all will be seeing more from me in the future.
Amen. And see, me, I had the opposite. My mama hugged me, loved me, told me she loved me 100 million times.
And you can see the difference in us. Like she more talkative when I'm more timid and be nervous. And a lot of time I might just scoot up a little bit to her and put her in the front and let her lead. And that's that come from but that come from what I went through, but I'm coming out of that shell. Even
her
to
voice is getting bigger, trust me.
What? I ain't never heard myself talk this loud. I be picked at about my voice being so soft because I always liked it to hide. And I ran because I just was so embarrassed and so ashamed of what I went through. Anybody that choose to get mad about this, shame on you. Because I was a little girl. You should not be angry with me about my story because I ain't even put everything out there, because I'm sparing just a little bit. But I should not have to because I went through this. And it's a part of me. And it hurt me. And people should know that is a hurtful thing. And not just hurt my feelings. It hurt me mentally. Physically, all of that. Because I was way too grown way before my time. Got all these grown men chasing me and stuff. I was grown before my time because people touching me as a young girl. Watch your children. Your children should not have that much free time nowhere where a man got time to come in there and have a whole sexual sessions with your kids. Where are you? That's why I be so scared to go out and work so hard and so much because your kids be at home and you could miss it.
Don't know.
You can miss it. You won't even know. You won't even know.
And that's why, even though my daughter was born with sickle cell, and it was hard for me to hold down a job because she was in the hospital at weeks at a time. But I thank God. When I say I thank God for putting the entrepreneur spirit in me and putting me in a position that I can run my own business and not have to lack financially, not have to lack with time with my kids. Because I was able to be at home to raise my kids. I didn't trust sending them to auntie house or cousin house. I didn't trust that because when somebody that's your dad, your blood father, do things to,
That's the difference in me and yours was your
blood daddy, And so when that happens, you don't trust people. So I mean, and I know to the point that grown men get little girls to sit in their lap. Like, it's just a lot of things that I didn't accept with my kids. And I thank God for let me be an entrepreneur that I can pay my bills and can live doing that. So I could be freed up to be there for my kids.
Take care of your kid and yourself. That comes first. Because how you going to take care of somebody if you're not stable enough? And so I was so mentally messed up so many days. Well, I was depressed. I was so sad. Well, I couldn't, but I got the good kids, the bigger ones that come in and more, look, we got this, and lifting me up and oh, God, thank you, God.
See, he knew what you needed. He knew exactly what you needed.
That's the one. He knew what I needed. Without my oldest daughter, without any of them, I would not be here today. They are the reason. And a lot of times I still tried to leave because it was so draining. It was so sad. There is a depressing feeling, but it's only a feeling. We can change that feeling. That's why I say you got to put people around you that's encouraging and that's loving. And your mind and your thoughts will change. They will change. And now my mind and my thoughts will change because I got better people around me now. Well, my kids always been there, but people like you and family, I'm back home now. How about that? And I feel better.
And that's one thing. When people call me, I ain't finna be on that bandwagon with you. I ain't gonna be on that sorrow. We finna pray.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna speak life. Because a lot of times in my life, I once spoke life to. People told me, with your attitude, you ain't going to amount to nothing. Like, people used to tell me damaging things that back then I didn't even know how word take life. And how word is so, your tongue is so powerful. So when people call me, we finna pray. I'm finna speak life into you. Because I can't get on that sad bandwagon with you because we got to uplift each other. That's the kind of friends I need in my life because going through hurt and going through all the things that you went through, if you don't have somebody that encourage you, if you don't have that circle, revamp your circle. Revamp it. If you got a friend that always, girl, jump on the back window, whatever you feeling, they crying.
And when you have money, you get a lot of that. So for years, I had friends that, and in the end, loud, they hurt so bad because they be there because of what you got. I ain't had no real friends and I don't, because of what you got, we in here.
Okay, so we wrapping this up, y'all. We thank y'all for viewing.
Thank you.
I thank you for sharing your story.
Yes, I
and
hope I
thank
did all right,
You
y'all.
did awesome, girl. You did great. And I thank God for just the strength that she had to be able to share things with y'all. And again, I want you to be that strong. If you're going through something yourself, I want you to pick up a phone and call somebody. I want you to make this awareness. I don't want you to have to go through this. So call this number that's on the screen and get awareness to what's going on in your situation. We love you here at Trina's Booth of Truth. I want you guys, if you know anybody that want to share their story or give their point of view, and even if y'all went through the same situation, we can have multiple people come about the same thing. I want to hear your point of view. How did it make you feel? Give me a call at 478-251-1529 so we can get you here. We also will be having a live audience. If you would like to be a part of our live audience for our next recording, please call me as well so we can give you instructions to be a part of the live audience. We're moving up into bigger things, so you guys get on this train and y'all come on, and thank you for looking at Trina's Booth of Truth.